Welcome to part 2 of FS Initiative Intervention Note titled Help Africa Bleeds, Cry from Afar. Yes, South Africa activist and politician Julius Malema of EFF, who many view as the architect of this move, has every reason to be upset at the slow pace of economic empowerment for majority in his country, who happens to be black and some minorities of color. But then, we really don't need to cut off our noses in order to spite our faces. Understandably, history keeps repeating itself. When the moral icon Nelson Mandela was at his age bracket, his generation equally were not disappointed. It's not surprising that after many decades, one of his own will rise up for history to repeat itself. How privileged we are today to be in an era when we have elders in Africa who understand international politics more than our forefathers. An era when we have ex-presidents who are proud to go back to the land and are happy to be called farmers. Thanks to the pace-setter, former President of Nigeria, Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo. I don't need to remind our elders about international politics in farming when they already have people like Dr. Obasanjo in their midst. If Soviet Union could disappear and Zimbabwe economic fortune gone the way it has gone, none needs to be a prophet to predict the future of South Africa if they follow this route, as against the policy of willing seller, willing buyer introduced by ANC government soon after the end of apartheid. I must say kudos to ANC. It's on record that since the end of apartheid in 1994, ANC has been able to quietly follow this almost tension-free route that enables government to buy white-owned farms for redistribution to blacks, who happens to be in majority to a great success. Yes, progress via this route may look slow and sometimes frustrating for some vibrant political leaders in the country and elsewhere in Africa. But then, we need to remember the external instruments of communication and vibrancy of many, including people in the entertainment industry, who consistently prick the hearts and minds of the whole world, which help to destroy apartheid. Yes, progress certainly has been slow, which serves as a constant reminder to the age-long adage that Rome was never built in a day. Most nation building set on a very high moral ground as building a rainbow nation, thanks to the moral icon of our time, former President Nelson Mandela. Don't destroy Africa, I would say, to this very important group, because Africa is your home. I want to plead with Agrisa, the vibrant farming industry group in the country, to please manage their communication better in order not to escalate tension nationally and internationally. Always remember that in situations like this, as the nation watches and the world listens, you need to assign the responsibility of speaking for the organization to someone who is sensitive enough to handle emotions better. Please find a place in your heart to see this development as one of those family affairs. that could eventually turn out to be a growing experience for all parties directly or indirectly involved. It's so sad as I watch my constituency, the farming sector, which we have quietly built and are still building through advocacy, information, training, and logistical assistance where necessary, to go this way. Using the power of public relations, FS Initiative, an acronym for Farmer Support Initiative, has since 2007-2008 directly and indirectly brought the farming sector to its present socio-economic relevance in Africa. Check the socio-economic relevance of the farming sector in Africa before 2007 and after 2007 to understand the impact of FS Initiative better. We are one of the few UK charities that have been in the vanguard of doing the needful, rather than busy with projects that inadvertently, sadly, encourage recycling of poverty in Africa. This, of course, is part of the essence of this intervention, which has been copied to relevant bodies and a couple of opinion molders in Africa. This intervention note has been copied to South African Parliament, specifically to the Speaker of the House, Majority Leader, who happens to be the Chief Whip, Main Opposition Party Leader, Nelson Mandela Foundation, Archbishop Emeritus, Bishop Desmond Tutu, and finally, the Executive Council Pan-African Parliament in South Africa. Thank you so much for listening. I hope one day we'll look back and say, yes, we are able to arrest this situation for common good. Thank you, and God bless.